Hey everybody, Mr. Dave here. Welcome to the penultimate episode of the beginner ukulele class for Buckland Public Library. That's right, it's the fifth and the second to last episode of the series. I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. Today we're going to start working on line tablature. Now line tablature is kind of like box tablature as it tells you where you're supposed to put your fingers to play what you're looking to play. However, line tablature is meant for melodic play, single note or double note play, commonly called finger style, also for lead style, and it's a good dive into improvisation and solos and things like that. And you don't need to be able to read music, but you do need to know your numbers and you need to know which string is which, but it's all written out for you. So we're going to jump right into line tablature. All right, before we get started, let's tune up. Here are your notes. A, E, C, low G, high G. All right, tune up and let's get started. Line tablature looks like this. Kind of like a musical staff, just one less line. However, unlike the musical staff, you don't need to worry about the spaces in between. You just need to worry about the lines themselves. The lines are the strings. That up there is your A string. That guy up there. This one here is your E string. The next one down is your C string and your G string. Now, here's where players like myself and possibly you that have a low G on the bottom can get into a little bit of trouble. Most ukulele line tablature is written for uke with a high G on the bottom, which is standard island tuning. So there might be some adaptations that you need to make when you're reading the line tablature. Right now we're going to keep it simple and we're going to avoid the G string completely just to save confusion. All right, you can see that I've written a couple of numbers over on the C string line there. Those numbers tell you what fret you need to press down. Now, you'll see the 0 there. That means open. You can also think of it as an O if you want to. That means you pluck the string with no frets pressed. The number 2, put your finger on the 2nd fret and play it. And each one of the notes written there, of the numbers that are written there, are individual notes. So it doesn't mean, nothing there tells you to hold it for a certain amount of time, and none of those things say play it more than once. This simply means play the string open one time, play the string on the 2nd fret one time. Now, tablature is not as efficient as reading music. With tablature, you already need to know how it's supposed to sound. Nowhere here do they give you actual rhythms. You have to have an idea of what you're playing sounds like already. You can't learn a brand new song that you've never heard of before from tablature by yourself. You need to have a point of reference. So it's not perfect, but it's great for learning songs that you already know how they go. So if I were to read this, it would sound like this. And that's all that's written there right now. Take a quick shot of that, or copy it down into your notebook, or screenshot it, or what have you, and make sure you leave all this room because we're going to be adding on more soon. But practice that a couple of times, just looking at it. Once or twice should be fine. In fact, you could probably do it before I finish talking. More notes. We're up on the E string now. open, first fret, third fret. Just that part sounds like this. Now, if you put the first two together on the C string and then the next three on the E string together, this is what it sounds like. I want you to pause the video. I want you to go back and I want you to practice playing that just like that. You don't need to go fast. Take it at your own pace. Just get it comfortable and get it smooth. One other thing I want to tell you is walk your fingers. Don't slide your fingers like this. That's sliding your fingers. I don't want you to do that. I want you to walk your fingers, meaning each individual note gets its own finger. Open. Now you'll notice I skipped my middle finger because I'm saving the middle finger for that second fret. Open, middle finger. See the second fret? Open, index finger on the first fret, ring finger on the third fret. So each finger gets their own fret. Think of it that way and walk your fingers as you practice that. Pause me, come back. Okay, now there's more. You'll also notice I named it. Up at the top, it's called the C major scale. Now, I'm sure you guys who have been with me before have heard me do this, and maybe some of you have even already learned it. However, this is still good review. And then the final bit of it goes open, second fret, third fret on the A string. And remember, individual fingers for each fret. Open, middle finger on the second fret, ring finger on the third fret. And you'll see it's got this neato little bracket at the end now. When you see the solid black line and then a thinner line next to it without anything else, that means you're done. That's the end of the song. That's the end of the line. So this is, now you know this is the entire thing because I put that end bracket there. We're not going to go any further with this particular piece. So let's do that A string one more time. Open, 2, 3, using your middle and ring finger. Now let's go back to the very beginning, starting on that C string and playing it all together. I'll play it. Feel free to join me if you like, but you'll be pausing in a minute. Middle finger, pointer finger, ring finger, open, middle finger, ring finger. And that is your C major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So, pause me. Practice this about 1,000,000 times. Get used to playing it. And then we'll come back and we'll do something fun with the skills you've just learned. All right, you've practiced that like crazy, hopefully. Now, we're going to start our first song, which incidentally is also the first song you learn to play with chords. Row, row, row your boat. This is how you play the first part of the melody line of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, tabbed out. Now make sure you take a screenshot of it or copy it down in your notebook so you have it physically in front of you. But here it is, and it sounds like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Good. Now you'll notice there's nothing here, which means there's more. But of course, you know that from already knowing the song. Practice that. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Making sure you're using the right fingers in the right place. And then come back and we'll do the latter half. All right, welcome back. And here's the latter half of the song. Now, These first three notes are actually, the first four notes, my mistake, are actually multiples. Now, I did not write all the merrilies out just to save space. If I had written it, it would have been out here for you to have the latter half, and it would have been very confusing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play them once and sing all the merrilies that are involved. What I mean is this. Merrily, 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 merrily. So one pluck for all of the merrilies involved on each note. So the tab line doesn't come all the way out here. So this is what it sounds like. There you go. I'll play it one more time. And you can see there's your double bar ending, so you know that the song is over. Why don't you practice that 1.5 million times? And then, before you come back to me, try putting the first section and the second section together. Okay, are your fingers sore yet? I hope not. However, remember, you can always pause and come back. It's on YouTube. You can watch it whenever you like. So let's play the whole thing together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Good. Let's do it again. 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Good. Now don't worry if you can't keep up yet. It's okay. You'll get there. Just keep practicing it. Pause it, practice this, and I'm going to show you one more really cool thing about line tablature. Welcome back. You remember when we did lead sheets before, how the chords were placed over the word that you sang so you know when to play the chord. In the case of row, row, row your boat, you played the C on the row until you got all the way to life, and you played the G, life is but a dream, and C back on dream. Tab lines do the same thing, except instead of the word, it's the note. So right here, you can see I put a C, I put a G, and a C. You play a C chord here over that note. You play the G chord there over that note, and then the C chord over that. Now you'll notice, if you actually pay attention, all of these notes are in those chords. That open C is already played in the first chord. The third fret on the E string is already played in the G. And then again, same deal, that open C string for the C. Now what this means is you can either have a friend playing along with you, or you can record yourself playing one part or the other, and then you can play the other part. Or when you're feeling really frisky, you can put them together at the same time, like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's a little tricky, but it's a lot of fun, and it sounds really cool when you get the hang of it. Listen again. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And you can continue, because the C will work over most of those notes too. So if you wanted to play it more than once, you could. So something to work towards, something to have fun with. And later on, when you get really good at reading tablature and finding the chords within it, if they're not already there, this is something you can do regularly, which is a lot of fun. So What I'm going to do for you guys now is I'm going to play the chords and I'm going to sing the song. I'll do that a couple of times through, and that'll give you guys a chance to play the tab line, the melody line, on your ukuleles along with me. You ready? Here we go. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Good job. Let's do it again. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Again, don't worry if you can't keep up yet. You're just learning, and I'm sure you're doing a great job. Keep at it, keep having fun, keep practicing, and you'll get there. In the meantime, thanks very much for joining me. A big thanks again to the Buckland chapter of the Mass Cultural Council for sponsoring the show and bringing us here to the Buckland Public Library in Buckland, Massachusetts, so we can have these fun classes online, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. Bye.